Have you ever watched someone less talented, less prepared, and frankly less intelligent than you rise to the top, while you remained stuck in the shadows, wondering what cosmic joke the universe was playing on you? Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to admit. Intelligence might be the very chain keeping you imprisoned. And the people you call idiots, they've discovered something you haven't, a dark psychological loophole that makes the rules of success bend in their favor. Let me take you somewhere uncomfortable today, somewhere your mind has probably wandered 1,000 times, but never had the courage to fully explore. Because what I'm about to reveal isn't just theory, it's the hidden architecture of why the world seems upside down, why mediocrity rises while brilliance drowns, and most importantly, how you can finally break free from the invisible prison your own mind has built around you. Think about the last time you had a brilliant idea. What happened? If you're like most intelligent people, you immediately began analyzing it. You saw the flaws. You anticipated the criticisms. You mapped out every possible failure scenario with the precision of a military strategist preparing for defeat. And while you were busy perfecting your plan in the safety of your mind, someone with half your capability simply acted. They stumbled forward with the confidence of someone who doesn't know enough to be afraid. And somehow, impossibly, they succeeded where you never even tried. This isn't coincidence. This is psychology. This is the curse that has haunted brilliant minds since the dawn of civilization. The ancient Greeks called it analysis paralysis. Modern psychologists call it overthinking. But I call it something else entirely. I call it the intelligence trap, and it's claiming more victims today than ever before in human history. You see, intelligence is a double-edged sword that nobody warned you about. Yes, it allows you to see patterns others miss. Yes, it enables you to solve complex problems. But here's what they forgot to mention in every classroom. Every self-help book, every motivational speech, intelligence also allows you to see danger where none exists. It allows you to construct elaborate prisons of worst-case scenarios. It transforms you from an actor in the world to a spectator of your own potential, forever watching from the sidelines as less capable people stumble into the success that should have been yours. The philosopher Bertrand Russell captured this paradox perfectly when he observed that the fundamental cause of trouble in the modern world is that the stupid are cocksure while the intelligent are full of doubt. But Russell only scratched the surface. The truth goes much deeper, into the very wiring of how different minds experience reality itself. When a person of average intelligence encounters an opportunity, their brain performs a simple calculation. They see potential gain, they feel excitement, they act. The process is almost beautifully primitive in its simplicity. But when you, with your complex, nuanced, highly analytical mind, encounter the same opportunity, something entirely different happens. Your brain doesn't just calculate, it simulates. It runs thousands of scenarios simultaneously. It consults your memory for every failure you've ever witnessed. It weighs social consequences, long-term implications, and existential ramifications that the average person would never even consider. By the time your sophisticated analysis is complete, the opportunity has passed. The idiot is already celebrating their victory while you're still perfecting your strategy. And here's the cruel irony. Your analysis was probably correct. You were right about the risks. You were right about the potential pitfalls. You were right about everything except the one thing that mattered most. That imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time. But wait, there's something even more sinister at play here, something that goes beyond mere overthinking into the realm of social psychology and tribal dynamics. You see, intelligent people don't just handicap themselves with excessive analysis, they also inadvertently trigger something primal in the people around them, something ancient and ruthless that operates beneath the surface of civilized interaction. Have you ever noticed how the smartest person in the room is rarely the most liked? how brilliance often breeds resentment rather than admiration. This isn't jealousy in the simple sense. It's something far more fundamental. Human beings evolved in small tribal groups where the survival of the collective depended on cohesion, on everyone playing their role, on nobody rising too far above the others. Intelligence, especially visible intelligence, was a threat to this delicate balance. The person who could outthink the tribe could potentially manipulate the tribe. And so, evolution hardwired into our species a deep, often unconscious suspicion of those who seem too clever. If this idea has already begun to resonate with you, if you're starting to see your own experiences reflected in these words, then prepare yourself, because what comes next will reshape how you understand every social interaction you've ever had. Subscribe now, because this journey is only beginning. Think about your workplace for a moment. Think about who gets promoted, who gets listened to in meetings, who builds the alliances that lead to power. Is it the person with the best ideas? Rarely. Is it the person who works the hardest? Almost never. More often than not, it's the person who makes others feel comfortable, who doesn't threaten anyone's ego, who plays the social game with the same unconscious mastery that you apply to intellectual problems. Here's where it gets painful. The person you've dismissed as an idiot, the one who seems to fail upward through sheer luck, isn't actually stupid at all. They possess a different kind of intelligence, one that your academically trained mind was never taught to recognize, let alone respect. They have what psychologists call social intelligence or emotional intelligence, and in the game of human hierarchies, this currency often outweighs raw cognitive ability. While you were solving equations and reading philosophy, they were learning to read rooms. While you were building expertise in your field, they were building networks of reciprocal favors. While you were focused on being right, they were focused on being liked. And in a world where decisions are made by human beings, emotional, tribal, irrational human beings, being liked frequently trumps being right. But I want to be careful here. I'm not telling you this to make you feel hopeless. I'm not suggesting you abandon your intelligence or pretend to be something you're not. What I'm offering you is something far more valuable, awareness, because once you understand the game, you can choose how to play it. The ancient Stoics understood this principle deeply. They distinguished between what they called the dichotomy of control, the recognition that some things are within our power and other things are not. Your intelligence, your analytical ability, your capacity for deep thought, these are gifts. But they become curses the moment you use them against yourself, the moment you allow them to paralyze rather than propel you. So, how do we break free from this trap? How do intelligent people stop losing to idiots and start claiming the success they deserve? The first key is understanding that action and analysis must be separated. There's a time for thinking and a time for doing, and the intelligent mind must learn to ruthlessly compartmentalize these modes. When you're in analysis mode, think deeply. Explore every angle. Indulge your brilliant mind's capacity for complexity, but set a deadline. And when that deadline arrives, shift into action mode with the same fierce commitment that an athlete brings to competition. In action mode, doubt is not allowed. Second guessing is forbidden. You execute with the confidence of someone who has already done the thinking and now trusts the process. The second key is learning to see social dynamics as a system to be understood, not a game to be scorned. Many intelligent people make the fatal mistake of dismissing social intelligence as shallow or manipulative. This isn't just wrong, it's strategically suicidal. Social dynamics are as real and as important as any other force in the universe. Gravity doesn't care if you respect it or not. It will still bring you crashing down if you ignore it. The same is true for the laws of human interaction. Learn them, master them. Use them not for manipulation, but for genuine connection and effective communication. The third key is perhaps the most counterintuitive. Embrace strategic imperfection. The intelligent mind craves elegance, completion and correctness, but the world rewards those who ship imperfect products, who share incomplete ideas, who take imperfect action while others wait for perfect conditions that never arrive. Leonardo da Vinci, perhaps the greatest genius in human history, was notorious for leaving projects unfinished, not because he lacked ability, but because his perfectionism became his prison. Don't let the same fate befall you. Done is better than perfect. Shipped is better than planned. Present is better than potential, but there's a secret even more profound that few people ever discover, and this is the revelation that can truly set you free. The real reason smart people lose to idiots isn't just psychology or social dynamics. It's something far more fundamental. It's fear disguised as wisdom. Every time you talk yourself out of an opportunity, every time you convince yourself that the risk is too great or the timing isn't right, you're not actually being smart, you're being afraid. And your intelligence, that beautiful, complex mind of yours, is simply providing sophisticated justifications for your fear. The person you call an idiot isn't fearless because they're too stupid to see the danger. Many of them see the danger just as clearly as you do, but they've made a different calculation, one that your intelligent mind struggles to accept. They've decided that the pain of regret is worse than the pain of failure. They've understood, perhaps intuitively, that a life spent avoiding risk is a life spent avoiding life itself. Friedrich Nietzsche wrote that the secret of reaping the greatest fruitfulness and the greatest enjoyment from life is to live dangerously. He wasn't advocating for recklessness. He was pointing toward a profound truth, that growth, meaning and success all exist on the other side of comfort. And comfort for the intelligent mind often means the safety of endless analysis, the protection of perfect preparation, the prison of perpetual potential. Here's what I want you to understand, truly understand, in the depths of your being. Your intelligence is not your enemy. It's your greatest asset. But like any powerful tool, it must be wielded with skill and directed with purpose. A sword in the hands of a master protects and creates. The same sword in the hands of someone who fears it becomes a danger to its owner. You have something that the people who seem to be winning don't have. You have depth. You have the capacity for genuine insight. You have the ability to see connections and patterns that others miss entirely. These gifts, properly deployed, can take you further than mere social manipulation or blind confidence ever could. But first, you must stop using your gifts against yourself. You must stop letting your intelligence become the voice of your fear. The next time you find yourself overthinking an opportunity, I want you to ask yourself one question. Am I being wise or am I being afraid? Be honest, because that moment of honesty, that willingness to see through your own sophisticated self-deception, is the first step toward a completely different life. The world doesn't reward intelligence. The world doesn't reward foolishness either. The world rewards those who act intelligently, boldly, imperfectly, but consistently. And that person can be you. Not someday, not when conditions are perfect. Right now, today, in the next decision you make, stop losing to idiots. Not by becoming like them, but by finally becoming fully yourself. Brilliant mind unleashed, fear transcended, action aligned with insight. If this message has reached something deep within you, if you're ready to begin this transformation, then take action right now. Like this video. Leave a comment sharing the one insight that struck you most. Subscribe to this channel, because this is just the beginning of a journey that will reshape how you see yourself and the world. And if you know someone, a friend, a family member, someone brilliant who's been held back by their own mind, share this with them, because sometimes the message we need most arrives through the people who care about us. Your intelligence was never the problem. How you used it was. And today, everything changes.